The Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation. And here he is, Michael Savage.
Here we are, hour number 3 of the Savage Nation for Tuesday, September 17th, 2013. Look, everyone's talking about the madman who did the shooting up at the Naval Contracting Center there, the campus they call it. He killed how many people? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How many did he wound? Now, here's the crazy part. The man was a maniac who was on psychiatric drugs. The man was certifiably committable, and yet he got one promotion after another by your new Navy. See, it's not your father's Navy. Even though he shot a bullet through his neighbor's roof, meaning through his floor, even though he shot up neighbors next door who apparently he didn't like, he was promoted in the Navy. He was considered a great worker. Well, we have for you the Newport Police Department report for this fine, upstanding gentleman who's now in heaven, I'm sure. Because after all, he was a victim of his own mental problems. He didn't actually shoot anyone. It was his demons that did it. So here's what a policeman wrote when they arrested him recently. On August 7th, 2013, I was assigned to Car 1. At about 6:23 hours, Officer Blanket, I responded. On arrival at the Marriott Hotel Room 405 for a harassment report, we met with, that's the guy who did the shooting. He stated that he's a naval contractor and that he travels often. He went on to explain that while getting onto his flight from Virginia to Rhode Island, he got into a verbal altercation with an unknown party in the airport. Mr. Shooter believes that the individual that he got into an argument with has sent 3 people to follow him and keep him awake by talking to him and sending vibrations into his body. Are you listening to this? Now, shall I go on? He stated that he has not witnessed any of these individuals, but believes that they are 2 black males and a black female. The shooter stated that he first heard them talking to him through a wall while at the Residence Inn in Middletown. Well, you get the picture, right? He's a certifiable lunatic, a madman, a crazy man. He did not belong, never mind, in the Navy, working on computers. He belonged in a bug house in a straitjacket. Oh, excuse me. That's too judgmental. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't help myself. I was a little overly judgmental. Did you know the Navy Yard gunman earned glowing evaluations during his time as a reservist? Oh, yeah. The Navy Yard gunman who killed 12 people at a military facility typically earned rave reviews from his Navy superiors during his time in the service, though there were glimpses into the madness that drove him to mass murder. I'm not going to believe this. They wrote that he has unlimited potential. He displayed a get-it-done attitude. You're not going to believe it. You have to read it for yourself. Here's what one Navy officer wrote. Alexis will be a valuable asset to any civilian organization. That's in his final evaluation report of Aaron Alexis. Next, Alexis has been on board for a short time and has established himself as a get-it-done addition to the work center. Well, he sure got it done Monday. Shall I finish? The report called Alexis, who was 34 when he died. What do you mean when he died? What do you mean by died? He didn't die. He didn't die from overwork. He was shot after killing people. They said he's a dedicated worker on aircraft electrical systems, and you wonder why airplanes are falling into the sea. Anyway, you get the picture. You get the picture. Psychiatric drugs, violent video games, attitude to beat the band, and forget about it. Yeah, well, the media is focusing on the fact that the Navy killer was being treated for mental illness. See, my position is that being found mentally unfit shouldn't have really stopped him from working in the Navy, because it's not stopped many government officials from working in the government. For example, Obama still thinks he's the leader of the free world. Nancy Pelosi, for example, channels her granddaughter to determine whether we should go to war or not. Kerry believes he's still a great statesman, even though he's thanking Putin for picking up the reins. And Boehner still finds himself relevant. So as you can see, mental illness is prevalent in the government today, so therefore the shooter really would have fit right in. By the way, you're listening to the Savage Nation. This is not a coming through the wall and through loose lips sink ships. You're actually not imagining this show. You're hearing it. It's a national radio show called the Savage Nation. My God, we've gone from building ships to loose lips in one generation. You know, the tragic shooting that left 13 people dead, including the gunman, Aaron Alexis, who's really a victim. I mean, you listen to MSNBC, he's a victim. He slipped through the cracks. The system failed him. Now, it's true he was a nut who shot his gun off at people who parked in his driveway. Another time he shot it through the ceiling of his apartment and almost killed the woman above him. But that didn't stop the Navy from giving him glowing reports.